Remember that gold Firebird from CHiPs? The one Ponch treated like his baby? Yeah, that car. Turns out it wasn't what you thought it was. Not even close. We're about to blow your mind with 20 facts about the Ponchmobile that'll make you question everything you remember about Saturday morning TV in the late 70s and early 80s. Some of these are so bizarre, you'll wonder how the producers got away with it. Today we're counting down the weirdest, wildest, and most unbelievable facts about Ponch's 1971 Pontiac. Well, that's the thing. It wasn't even what the title card said it was. Before we dive into this automotive mystery, hit that like button and subscribe, because trust me, you're gonna want more content like this. Number 20, replaced by a new Firebird. Here's how it all ended, after one wreck too many, and we're talking dozens here. Ponch finally gave up on his beloved gold beast. In 1982, during season 5, the writers just couldn't justify another miraculous resurrection. The car had been totaled, rebuilt, exploded, rebuilt again, flipped, rebuilt, skewered by a forklift, and somehow rebuilt yet again. Even for a TV show where motorcycles could jump over school buses, this was getting ridiculous. So what did they do? They gave Ponch a brand new, light blue 1982 Firebird Trans Am. Just like that. No ceremony, no emotional goodbye. One episode he's driving the gold car, the next episode it's gone. The new car was everything the old one wasn't. Modern, sleek, reliable, and completely forgettable. Fans hated it. The light blue paint looked like something your dentist would drive. It had none of the character, none of the history, none of the battle scars. It was like replacing a beloved rescue dog with a store-bought poodle. The producers thought viewers wanted to see something fresh and contemporary. They were wrong, dead wrong. Number 19, later model cameo. The continuity on this show was, let's call it, creative. By season 4, they weren't even trying to hide it anymore. A 1973 Trans Am with a completely different body style would just randomly appear in shots. Not a similar car. Not the same model year, painted differently. A completely different car. 2 years newer. Different grille. Different bumpers. Different everything. The shaker hood that had been grafted onto the Formula. Sometimes it was there, sometimes it wasn't. But when the 73 showed up, it had a proper Trans Am shaker that actually looked like it belonged there. The hood bird was different too. Fuller. More detailed, because it was an actual Trans Am hood, not a Formula hood pretending to be one. You'd see Ponch get into his 71 in one shot, and in the next scene, he'd be driving the 73, sometimes within the same chase sequence. The editors either didn't notice or didn't care, probably both. This wasn't some clever plot device or dream sequence. This was just CHiPs being CHiPs, the prop department using whatever gold Firebird was available that day. Number 18, multiple Ponchmobiles used. Here's what they never told you. There wasn't one Ponchmobile, there were at least 4, maybe 5, possibly 6. The main car was that modified 1971 Formula, but they had a 1971 S Brief for some shots, a different Formula for stunts, that random 1973 Trans Am we just talked about, and at least 1 or 2 parts cars they'd Frankenstein together when needed. Watch the show carefully and you'll see it. The Esprit had different vents. The stunt car had roll bars you could spot through the windows. The 73 had completely different body lines. They'd swap between them constantly, sometimes in the same scene. The production notes are a mess. One day's shooting log lists Ponch's car without specifying which one. Another mentions the good Firebird versus the crash Firebird. By season 4, even the crew couldn't keep track. The cars would get damaged, repaired with parts from different years, and sent back out. A 71 front end with 72 doors, a 73 grille on a 71 body. It was automotive chaos. And nobody seemed to care as long as there was something gold with a bird on it for Eric Estrada to lean against. Number 17, interior musical chairs. The inside of Ponch's car changed more often than his girlfriend's, and that's saying something. It started with black deluxe interior, high back bucket seats, proper console, very 70s, very cool. Then suddenly it's ivory. Completely different seats, different door panels, different everything. 2 episodes later, saddle interior, like someone raided a western wear store, then back to black but not the same black. Cheaper seats this time. The console would appear and disappear. Manual transmission one day, automatic the next. The steering wheel changed at least 3 times. Sometimes it had a Formula steering wheel, sometimes a Trans Am wheel. Once it showed up with what looked like a base model wheel from a completely different year. The dash pad color would shift between black and saddle depending on which car they used that day. The radio? Different every season. 8-track player, then cassette, then back to 8-track. The The door panels were the best part. Sometimes they had the deluxe panels with armrests, sometimes the cheap ones without. Once, just the driver's side had the deluxe panel while the passenger side was base model, like they only fixed half the car. Number 16, CHP paid repairs. This might be the most unbelievable part of the whole show. The California Highway Patrol supposedly paid for every single repair to Ponch's personal vehicle, every single time. The explanation? He used it for undercover work. Once, maybe twice. Suddenly that meant unlimited body shop visits on the taxpayer's dime. Car gets stolen and explodes. CHP pays. John enters it in a demolition derby. CHP pays. Forklift drives through both doors. CHP pays. Random construction accident. CHP pays. Getrayer would show up at the end of episodes with this big smile. Good news, Ponch! The department's covering it, really. The department's covering a personal vehicle that got destroyed doing something completely unrelated to police work. The writers tried to justify it. Well, he was following suspects. He was off duty. He was gathering intelligence. He was on a date. By season 4, they didn't even bother explaining it anymore. Car gets wrecked. Getrayer waves his magic budget wand. Car comes back perfect. Your tax dollars at work, California. The real California Highway Patrol must have loved that plot device. Nothing says responsible law enforcement like using public funds to repeatedly rebuild a cop's personal muscle car. Number 15, two-wheel freeway stunt episode 322. Thrill show. This actually happened. Ponch is cruising down the freeway minding his own business when a tour bus sideswipes him. The car goes up on two wheels, the left side, driver's side up in the air, passenger side on the pavement, and it stays there. For blocks, not seconds, blocks, multiple city blocks, in traffic, at freeway speeds. The stunt driver later said it was supposed to tip back down after a few seconds, but the car found its balance point and just stayed there. The cameras kept rolling. Eric Estrada, who wasn't in the car for obvious reasons, had to pretend he'd just done this impossible thing. The dialogue they wrote to explain it: "Good thing I had my balance this morning." That's it. That's the explanation for defying physics. The car finally comes down when they hit an off-ramp. No damage, no blown tires, no bent suspension, nothing. Next scene, Ponch is washing it like nothing happened. The stunt became legendary on set. They tried to recreate it for other episodes. Never could. That one take was automotive lightning in a bottle, or just dumb luck. Probably dumb luck. Number 14, Demolition Derby Sacrifice. John Baker, supposedly Ponch's best friend, entered his car in a demolition derby. Without asking, let that sink in. Your best friend takes your car, your baby, the thing you've spent years restoring, and enters it in an event designed specifically to destroy cars. The reason? There was a bomb in another car and John needed to save Ponch's life. Heroic? Sure. But here's the thing, he could have used any car. The derby had dozens of entries. He could have borrowed one, rented one, stolen one. But no, he took Ponch's Firebird, the one Ponch had just finished restoring. Again. The derby scene is brutal to watch if you're a car person. John deliberately rams the Firebird into everything. He's not trying to win. He's trying to destroy it fast enough to get to the bomb car. He rolls it over a 75 Ford Torino. The car goes completely upside down. The Trans Am spoiler flies off. The flares crumple. The doors cave in. It's automotive murder, and Ponch, he thanks John. Actually thanks him. Thanks for saving my life, partner. Your friend just destroyed your car. On purpose. But the CHP paid for the rebuild, so all good, I guess? Number 13. Forklift door. Skewering. Season 4, Episode 10. 40 Tons of Trouble. This is the one everyone remembers. Ponch is chasing construction equipment thieves. Guy steals a forklift. Ponch follows him into a construction site. What happens next is so insane, it shouldn't have made it past the storyboard stage. The thief drives the forklift's forks straight through both doors. While Ponch is inside, the forks go through the driver's door, across the interior, through the passenger door, and out the other side. Ponch is literally trapped in his car, which is now a Firebird shish kebab. Then, and this is the part that breaks your brain, the thief lifts the car into the air, with Ponch still inside, dangling 20 feet up. The car just hanging there on the forks like a piece of meat. The doors are completely destroyed. Not damaged. Destroyed. Holes you could put your head through. The rocker panels are bent. The floor is probably buckled. This car is totaled. Absolutely. Completely totaled. Next episode, car's perfect. Not even a scratch. The CHP's body shop apparently employed wizards because that's the only explanation for how they fixed two holes the size of basketballs going completely through the car. Number 12, stolen and exploded. Downtime. Season 2, Episode 13. This one's special. Ponch has just finished restoring the car. Again, it's perfect. Pristine. He shows it off to everyone at the station. They're all impressed. Later that afternoon, it gets stolen from a parking garage. The thief is a woman named Melody Fisher. She drives it to a used car lot. Some ex-con named Oscar slaps a sold sign on it. 4 days pass. Ponch is going crazy. Then his neighbor, Kim Balford, accidentally wrecks it. She gets sun glare in her eyes, hits a Chrysler, and the Firebird goes airborne. It rolls. It catches fire while it's upside down, burning. Ponch and John pull Kim out just before boom, the car explodes. Not a little pop, a full Hollywood fireball. The kind that definitely means your car is now molecular particles. The next episode, car's back. Perfect. The explanation? Insurance covered it. Insurance covered an explosion. They didn't just repair it. They apparently built an entirely new car from atoms and called it the same vehicle. Even for CHiPs, this was pushing it. The writers knew it too. They started making jokes about how many times the car had been destroyed. Number 11, Rebodied mid-series. Here's something the producers hoped nobody would notice. After the explosion and downtime, the car that came back wasn't the same car. Literally. It was a different shell, a different vehicle identification number, different everything. The body shop didn't rebuild Ponch's car. They found another gold Firebird and just pretended it was the same one. Watch the episodes carefully. The panel gaps are different. The way the doors fit is different. The orange peel in the paint is in different places. The Formula vents that had been modified to accept the Trans Am vents, different modification, cruder, more obvious. The Trans Am parts that had been grafted on, some were missing. The spoiler was a different year. The flares didn't match. The shaker scoop sat differently on the hood. Even the shade of gold was slightly off. The prop department's notes literally say new body for Ponch car with the date. They rebodied the car and just hoped viewers wouldn't notice. In any other show, this might matter. In CHiPs, it was Tuesday. The continuity was already so broken, what's one more complete vehicle replacement? The car had already changed interiors 4 times. Why not change the entire car? Number 10, wheels change constantly. The wheels on Ponch's car were like a fashion show. Every few episodes, new shoes. It started with black Krieger SS wheels. The classic 5-spoke. Looked tough. Very period correct. Then suddenly chrome Krieger SS. Same wheel, different finish. Did Ponch get them chromed? Were they different wheels? Who knows? Then the center caps would disappear. Then reappear. Then disappear again. Sometimes the front wheels would be chrome and the rears would be black. In the same scene. By season 4, they gave up on Kriegers entirely. Turbo cast aluminum wheels showed up. Completely different style. Then American racing wheels for a few episodes. Then back to Kriegers, but a different model. The Vector maybe? Hard to tell. Once, and this is documented, the car showed up with 4 different wheels, all different styles. The excuse in the show? Had to use what the shop had? The real reason? They were pulling wheels off the other cars to keep one running. The stunt car would lose its wheels to the hero car. The hero car's wheels would go to the backup. It was automotive musical chairs. By the final season, they stopped trying to match anything. As long as the car had 4 round things and could roll, that was good enough. Number 9, parts bin mashup bodywork. Ponch's car was like Frankenstein's monster, but with Pontiac parts. It had Trans Am fender extractors, sometimes. Trans Am spoilers, occasionally. Formula side vents, always. Because those were actually part of the original body. But then they'd add Trans Am vents on top of the Formula vents. Think about that. Vents on vents. The rear spoiler would change between 3 different styles. The ducktail from a Trans Am. A Judge-style spoiler, sometimes no spoiler at all. The wheel flares were the best part. Full Trans Am flares one day, Formula flares the next, sometimes just the rear flares. Once, only the left side had flares. The front air dam appeared and disappeared like magic. The hoodbird decal would change size and position. Sometimes it faced the right way, sometimes it was backwards, occasionally it would disappear entirely, then reappear 2 scenes later. They literally just grabbed whatever gold Pontiac parts were in the prop warehouse and bolted them on. Trans Am, Esprit, Formula, didn't matter. If it was gold and sort of fit, it went on the car. By season 3, the car wasn't any particular model, it was all of them, at once. Number 8, temporary black repaint. Episode 207, Death Watch. This one's weird even by CHiPs standards. The car shows up painted starlight black, not wrapped, not covered, painted, completely different color. The explanation in the show? Ponch loaned it to the neighborhood. That's it, that's the whole explanation. He loaned his car to the neighborhood and it came back black. Who painted it? Why? How long did it take? Who paid for it? Nothing. No answers. The black paint job isn't even good. You can see gold showing through in places. The door jambs are still gold. Under the hood is still gold. It's like someone hit it with rattle cans in a parking lot. Then, a Hollywood stuntman named Dennis sideswipes it with a Torino, damages the driver's side, ruins 2 of the Krieger wheels. Next episode, it's gold again. perfect gold. Like the black paint never happened. Did they repaint it again? Was it a dream? Alternative universe? The writers never mentioned it again. The black car just happened, then unhappened. Even the prop department's notes just say, car is black this episode with no explanation. 40 plus years later, still no one knows why. Number 7. Factory Anaconda, gold. Here's something beautiful hidden under all the chaos. The car left the Van Nuys assembly plant in Anaconda gold. The factory paint code, the original color, a 1-year-only shade for 1971. It's a weird gold, not bright like anniversary gold, not dark like burnished gold. It's got green in it, brown in it. Depending on the light, it looks completely different. In the sun, it's almost orange. In the shade, it's brown. Under TV lights, pure gold. The paint job on the car changed constantly through the series. Sometimes it was the correct Anaconda gold. Sometimes it was anniversary gold from a 78. Once, it was a Ford color that looked nothing like the original. The metallic flake would change too. Original had fine flake. Some repaints had huge metal flake like a base boat. By season 4, there were at least 3 different shades of gold on different parts of the car. Hood one shade, doors another, fenders a third. But underneath it all, buried under the Bondo and repaints and explosions, was that original Anaconda gold. Van Nuys plant, 1971. Before it became the Ponchmobile, when it was just another Firebird Formula, before the madness began. Number 6, Little Bronze Beauty. Nicknamed Ponch had pet names for his car, constantly. Little Bronze Beauty was the favorite, which is weird, because the car wasn't bronze. It was gold, Anaconda gold specifically, but Ponch called it bronze every time. There's my Little Bronze Beauty. Nobody touches my Bronze Beauty. Let me get the Bronze Beauty. The writers must have been colorblind, or maybe they thought bronze sounded cooler than gold. He also called it My Bomb, which in the 70s meant something cool, not something broken. Got to get the bomb washed. Taking the bomb out tonight. My bomb's running perfect, sometimes just baby. Come on, baby, start from me. Nobody hurts my baby. This from a guy who let John enter it in a demolition derby. The nicknames got more elaborate as the show went on. My golden goddess, the yellow yacht, Anaconda, Mama. Okay, I made that last one up. But you believed it, didn't you? Because by season 4, Ponch was talking to the car like it was alive. Full conversations. You and me, baby. We're going to catch these guys. The car obviously never replied. Though given everything else that happened on this show, a talking Firebird wouldn't have been that surprising. Number 5. First scene hurting John, plot twist nobody talks about. The first time we see the car that becomes the Ponchmobile, it's trying to kill John Baker. Season 1, Episode 12. Crack up. The car belongs to a street racer named Niles. He's drag racing it on city streets. John tries to stop him. Niles runs John off the road. John's bike crashes. John ends up in the hospital. The car that would become Ponch's beloved baby literally tried to murder his best friend. The same car. The exact same vehicle. Later in the episode, Niles gets caught, goes to jail. What happens to the car? Never explained. Until episode 2:05, Neighborhood Watch Saxton, where we find out the owner set it on fire and Ponch bought it from him for $83. But wait, wasn't Niles the owner? Or did someone else buy it from Impound? The timeline makes no sense. The car went from attempted cop killer to beloved cop car. And John, who was nearly killed by this exact vehicle, never mentions it, not once. Hey Ponch, remember when that car tried to kill me? Never happens. They just pretend the car has no dark past. Like it didn't start its CHiPs career as a weapon. Number 4, 1971 only lower vents. Here's how you know it was really a Formula and not a Trans Am, the lower fender vents, 1971. Formulas had unique lower vents, different from every other year, different from the Trans Am. Smaller, more rectangular, positioned differently. You can see them in every shot of the car, they're right there. Proof positive this isn't what they claimed it was. The Formula vents are like fingerprints, you can't fake them. You can add Trans Am parts on top, but those Formula vents are part of the stamped metal. They're in the body, unchangeable. The prop department tried to hide them sometimes. They'd add Trans Am upper vents right above them. It looked ridiculous. Vents on vents on vents. Air extractors everywhere, like the car had gills. But those lower vents always gave it away. Watch any episode, pause when they show the side of the car, look at the lower fender, see those rectangular vents? That's a Formula. Not a Trans Am. A Formula playing dress up. A Formula with an identity crisis. A Formula that wanted to be something it wasn't. Kind of a metaphor for the whole show, really. Number 3, fake shaker scoop. The shaker scoop, the iconic hood bulge that moves with the engine, except on Ponch's car it didn't, because it wasn't connected to anything. It was fake. Completely, totally fake. They cut a hole in the Formula hood, dropped in a Trans Am shaker, and just left it there. Not connected to the air cleaner, not functional, not even properly mounted, it just sat there, looking cool, doing nothing. In real Trans Ams, the shaker was connected directly to the air cleaner. When you hit the gas, it would shake, hence the name. Raw air fed straight into the engine. Ponch's, it was basically a hood ornament, a really big hood ornament. The stunt drivers complained about it constantly. It would come loose during chase scenes, bounce around, sometimes fly off completely. There's footage of it sailing through the air during a jump. They'd glue it down, bolt it down, weld it down. Nothing worked. It wasn't designed for that hood. It was never meant to be there. But it looked cool. And on chips, looking cool was more important than making sense, or physics, or basic automotive engineering. The fake shaker became symbolic of the whole car. Nothing was what it seemed. Number 2, $83 after arson, episode 2:05. Neighborhood watch. This is how Ponch gets the car. The owner, furious about something, sets it on fire, deliberately, douses it with gasoline, and lights it up. Ponch happens to be there, watches it burn. Then, while it's still smoldering, offers the guy $83 for it. $83. For a burned Pontiac. The owner takes it. Ponch now owns a crispy Firebird. This is supposedly after Niles had it and went to jail, after someone else owned it, after it was already modified with Trans Am parts, and now after it's been deliberately torched. The car has been through more trauma before Ponch owns it than most cars see in a lifetime, but $83 and it's his. The next time we see it, perfect, restored, beautiful. How? When? Who did the work? How much did it cost? Where did he get the money? The show acts like buying a burned out car for less than $100 and having it restored to perfection is totally normal. Like everyone does it. Oh, your car got torched. Here's $80. See you next week when it's show ready. Chips logic at its finest. Number 1, not actually a Trans Am. The biggest lie of all, the thing nobody knew, the Ponchmobile. Ponch's Trans Am, the car everyone remembers as a Trans Am, wasn't a Trans Am. It was a 1971 Pontiac Firebird. Formula 350, a Formula, not a Trans Am, never a Trans Am. They dressed it up with Trans Am parts, added the shaker scoop, added the spoilers, added the flares, added the bird, but underneath it all, Formula. The VN said Formula. The title said Formula. The factory build sheet said Formula. It rolled off the Van Nuys assembly line as a Formula 350 with a 2-barrel carburetor and single exhaust. The most un-Trans Am spec possible. But the show called it a Trans Am. The scripts called it a Trans Am. Everyone believed it was a Trans Am. It became the most famous Trans Am that wasn't a Trans Am in television history. The car lived a complete lie, and nobody cared. Because it looked the part, it played the part. It was gold. It had a bird on it, close enough for television, the fake shaker, the wrong vents, the cobbled together parts. None of it mattered. It was Ponch's car. That made it real enough. And there you have it. 20 absolutely insane facts about a car that shouldn't have survived past season 2. But it did. Through explosions, crashes, and terrible continuity, the Ponchmobile became a legend. Was it really a Trans Am? No. Did it matter? Not even a little bit. If you remember this car, drop a comment below. Tell us which destruction was your favorite. The forklift, the explosion, the demolition derby? And don't forget to subscribe for more classic TV car content. We've got plenty more automotive lies to expose. Until next time, keep those 70s memories alive, even if they're completely wrong.